Hey guys, it's Megan, and this video is not going to be very fun to watch, so if you only watch my channel for very positive stuff, maybe don't watch this video, but I'm going to talk about something that's bothering me today, because I'm having kind of a difficult day. I'm not going to do the whole generic intro today, because I feel that that's not really appropriate for this video. I'm having one of my really high anxiety days, and it's not very easy to cope with anymore. I've been off my antidepressants for about 6 months now, and at first it was really easy to cope with my anxiety and depression after they took me off my medication, and now I'm not so sure if that was the best decision because things in my life changed, and I think that you should never ever make a decision about your physical and mental health based on the presence of another person in your life, because I agreed that I was doing better and felt that I didn't need to take my medication for anxiety and depression anymore because I was genuinely happy with the way things were in my life. And then, like, a couple months later, everything changed and I lost that person that I was relying on for my happiness. I lost the person that I was relying on for my mental stability, and you should not ever rely on another person for your mental stability because people are not guaranteed to stay in your life. And I was fortunate enough to get the help that I had for my anxiety and depression, and I was put on a medication for my attention deficit disorder, which has helped a lot with my anxiety about schoolwork, but I still get a lot of anxiety because I still focus on things that make it worse, and I'm just having a lot of trouble today, and I'm trying to think of how to describe what it feels like right now. Like, I can barely see things and I have trouble focusing on the camera right now because I don't want to look at myself and see how pathetic I look right now. And I know that that's so depressing to say, and I don't know. It's a Sunday and I've had all weekend to get work done, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. I've had a very high stress weekend, even though not much has happened. Actually, a lot that I got done this weekend that I've been putting off got accomplished, but I still put it off for a really long time, and I'm not even that proud about finishing it because I put it off for so long. So I can't even let myself be proud of that because I feel guilty for putting it off as long as I did, and I have stuff due tomorrow and tonight before midnight. Wow, I've never really tried to record myself mid-panic attack. I guess I can try and explain how my panic attacks work because I know not everybody goes through anxiety the exact same way. My anxiety is more of a silent shaking type thing where I hear this heavy breathing in my head of, I'll try to explain it. It's like, you know how it sounds when somebody's breathing when they're asleep? Well, that's the breathing that I hear in my head, and it's just very loud, and it's in the back of my neck and right in my ear, and I can feel it, and it's terrifying, but I know it's not real, but it's stressing me out because I can't make the sound go away. I have so much I need to get done, and I can't motivate myself to do it because when I try to think about, okay, when you get back to your room, you're going to do all this stuff and get it done and get it out of the way, and then when I actually get there, I start thinking about, okay, you need to do this stuff, and then my heart starts beating at that pace where you start to fall asleep. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. It probably doesn't. It's my fault that my anxiety is the way it is because I depended on other people for so long, and being with another person and being in a relationship helped me to ignore my anxiety, and I was able to think about another person instead of thinking about how much stress I'm going through. And I shouldn't have let myself do that because now I'm so dependent on a relationship that doesn't exist anymore, and I'm just kind of wandering and I'm lost and I hate it and it hurts and it's just so weird and I don't like it. And I was friends with someone for a little while after I became single, and this person was helping me get through stuff, but I had to cut them out of my life recently because they were being toxic and manipulative, and treated me very poorly and tried to use this excuse that, well, I warned you that I would try and push you away and be a jerk to you, and that you're just going to have to accept it because I warned you I was going to do that. But I realized that I deserve better than I was treated by him, and I had to cut them out of my life. And I don't know if you're watching this right now. I hope you're not, because this is me at a very vulnerable state. But the way they treated me was very, very hurtful. And when I finally stood up for myself, they said some very hurtful things to me that I would never say to someone. No matter how attacked I felt that somebody didn't want to put up with my crap, like, I finally called them out on the way they were treating me, and instead of accepting that they were treating me poorly, they basically went into defense mode and became cruel. And you can't have a civil argument with someone if you're going to just insult them and not accept the facts that they are giving you. And that argument ended very badly, and they ended up defriending me on Facebook, which, for some reason, every person I have a falling out with, they immediately defriend me on Facebook instead of being an adult and finishing what they started. And it's just so freaking frustrating, because the one person that I had been talking to and gaining trust with again and becoming actual friends with, and so I wasn't completely alone, and it wasn't like a relationship, it was just a friendship. And it was nice to have a friendship, to be able to talk to somebody about what you're going through without having that whole romantic aspect. It's nice to have friends, but I had to cut them out of my life because they were doing more harm than good at this point. So now I'm back to base one, and I'm alone, and I hate it. And I'm not getting enough stuff done because I'm focusing on how lonely I am. It's just really hard. I'm constantly worrying about things that I have no control over, and I just want to be home with my cats and my dog and my sister and my family. I don't like being so far away from my family right now. And I know 2 hours isn't very far, but 2 hours is very, very far when your car is unpredictable and on its last legs. So driving home has become terrifying because the transmission in my vehicle is starting to go out, and I don't know how long it has before my car stops working. So going home as often is not going to be an option for me soon, and that's sad. So basically all of November up until Thanksgiving weekend, I'm going to be here at school because I don't want to risk driving my car and having it be the last time I drive it, because I'm not at a financial place right now to replace my car. So that's causing me a lot of anxiety, and I have this part of me that knows it's wrong to think this way, but it still screams at me that I'm being pathetic and that there's bigger problems in the world, and that my problems are first world problems, and that they shouldn't be affecting me the way that they are, but I'm just one person, and I'm only 19 years old. I haven't experienced much. So these little things are huge to me because they're the only problems I've ever experienced, and I'm experiencing them alone, 86 miles away from my parents, and it's hard. And I hate that my parents are going to see this video, and they're going to feel bad, and they're going to tell me I need to get help again, when I know that I need to just focus on bettering myself and getting better. But I'm just generally very sad. I'm not always in this state of negativity, but right now, today specifically, this weekend has been very difficult, and I just needed to get it off my chest because I've had no one to talk to about it anymore. Because I have a very hard time reaching out to the people who are close to me, because I'm not very good at friendships in general, and I feel so guilty, even though these people have told me so many times that if I ever need to reach out to them, that I should feel free to, and that they will be there for me. But I feel so guilty reaching out to them when I made no effort to talk to them when I didn't need emotional support. So I feel like a bad person for being this way. And I'm introverted, but I'm trying to be extroverted, and it's just not working because all of the people who I am friends with are always busy, and they're unable to be there. I have a few friends, yeah, who are able to be there sometimes, but I can't rely on people. I need to rely on myself, but myself is just not at the best state right now. And of course, by making this video, I'm still procrastinating things that I need to get done, and I'm still beating myself up over that. So it's just like a cycle of negativity that I can't get out of, and I'm trying so hard. And I've realized that I speak in a very monotone voice, which when I'm talking, I don't realize how monotone my voice is when I'm like this, but then I listen to it in recording, or when I know I've had a somewhat bad day and I recorded a video, I'll listen to that video and I'll hear my voice and think, wow, she sounds dead inside. I'm not myself right now, or I don't want to believe that this is who I am and this is just how I'm supposed to spend my life. It's very hard, and I hate that I can feel my heart beating in my throat right now because it's an uncomfortable feeling. And this is just one version of how my panic attacks go. Sometimes I will be curled up in the fetal position in my bed, just sobbing my eyes out because I can't focus on anything in the world. And another day I might just be sitting in my bed staring at the wall, being unable to move, unable to even wrap my head around something because I've just got this loud buzzing noise in my head. And I know that I've had anxiety since as long as I can remember, because now looking back at things I've said when I was younger, it makes sense to me that that was just another part of my anxiety. I remember asking my parents when I was young, like, you know how it feels when you see people talking, but everything sounds very slow, even though they're talking at a normal pace? Or they just sound bored, even though they're not. I didn't realize back then that that's what anxiety was for me. And I didn't realize that that wasn't normal. And they would say, no, I don't know what you're talking about, because they didn't experience that same kind of anxiety that I experience. And other times as a child, I would lay in bed and I would hear these noises that sounded like a buzzing that would get louder and then quieter and then louder, and this wave of buzzing. And I couldn't really wrap my head around that noise because I didn't know where it was coming from. And that was another form of anxiety for me, and I didn't understand back then that that's what that was, because I didn't know there was a word for it, and I just thought that everybody went through that and that it was normal, but it wasn't normal. And now that I'm older and realize that there's something wrong with me and that it keeps me from living my life to the fullest, it sucks and it's depressing, and it feeds into depression because I feel like I'm not the best that I could be. And I don't know how to end this video because I feel like I don't want to tell you that I hope you enjoyed this video, because this isn't the kind of content that I want to be producing, but it was something that I felt was very important to share, because I know I'm not the only person going through this kind of thing, and that I know a lot of people go through it in silence and are unable to accept it or share what they're going through because people around them don't understand what they're going through. So I guess I want you guys to know that if you ever need someone to talk to, message me on YouTube. You can tweet me on Twitter and I will DM you about it, because I know how hard it is to go through this with no one to talk to, because I have no one to talk to, because I don't reach out to people. I do have people to talk to, it's just so hard to reach out, so I understand why people don't reach out, I guess. It's just, I wish that it was easier to reach out without feeling guilty, but it's not easy, and it's hard, and it's embarrassing, and you feel like all you ever do is ask for help, even when you rarely ask for help. It's just, I want to get rid of this feeling because it's not enjoyable. I want to be a happy person and I want to enjoy my life, but right now I'm just not at that point. And I know it's going to get better. I'm trying to be optimistic, but getting my hopes up has often resulted in more negativity. So I'm trying to be realistic. I'm trying to be realistically optimistic, I guess. I hope you guys are having a better day than I am, and I hope that my next video is a lot more positive, and I love you, and stay safe. Bye.